You didn't stumble onto this video by accident. And somewhere inside you, in a place deeper than logic, deeper than reason, deeper than anything your thinking mind could explain, you already know that. You feel it. A quiet pulse of recognition. A whisper that says, yes, this is exactly where I need to be right now. Not because someone told you, not because an algorithm decided, but because something far more intelligent than any algorithm, something woven into the very fabric of reality itself, has been orchestrating this moment for longer than you realize. And I know what you might be thinking. That sounds like a nice idea, a comforting thought, maybe even a little too convenient. But what if I told you that quantum physics, the most rigorously tested framework in the history of science, actually supports exactly what you just felt? What if the very structure of reality is not the cold, mechanical, indifferent machine you were taught it was? What if it is instead a living, responsive, deeply interconnected field of intelligence? And what if you, right now, in this very moment, are standing at the precise threshold where your relationship with that field is about to fundamentally change? Stay with me, because what we are about to explore together is not wishful thinking. It is not spiritual bypassing. It is not a motivational pep talk designed to make you feel good for 15 minutes before the old patterns come rushing back. This is something else entirely. This is about understanding at the deepest level why everything you have been through was not random, why the pain had a purpose, why the isolation carried a hidden intelligence, and why the very fact that you are here listening to these words is itself the evidence that your quantum shift has already begun. Let us start with something that most people completely misunderstand about how reality works. You were raised inside a story. We all were. A story that says the universe is made of solid, separate things, that you are one of those things, a body moving through space, bumping into other bodies, trying to accumulate enough of the right experiences before your time runs out. In this story, what happens to you is mostly random. Luck, circumstance, the roll of some cosmic dice. You can work hard, sure. You can make smart decisions, but fundamentally, the universe does not care about you. It is not paying attention. It is not responding to who you are or what you carry inside you. This is the story you inherited. And for most of your life, it probably seemed true. Because when you looked around, the evidence seemed to confirm it. Good things happened to people who did not seem to deserve them. Terrible things happened to people who did. You worked harder than anyone around you and watched others glide past you into opportunities that should have been yours. You gave everything to relationships that gave nothing back. You opened your heart and had it used against you. You dimmed yourself to fit into rooms that were never built for someone like you. And through all of that, the old story whispered its verdict. This is just how life works. There is no deeper meaning. There is no hidden order. You are on your own. But here is what no one told you. That story is not just incomplete. It is fundamentally, demonstrably, scientifically wrong. In 1927, something happened in physics that should have changed everything about how human beings understand reality. It should have rewritten our philosophy, our psychology, our spirituality, our entire relationship with existence. But instead, it got buried under equations and academic jargon and filed away as something only relevant inside laboratories. The discovery was this. At the most fundamental level of reality, nothing exists as a definite thing until it is observed. Let that land for a moment. Not as an abstract concept, not as a fun fact you might share at a dinner party, but as a lived truth about the nature of the world you are walking through right now. The particles that make up your body, the atoms that compose the chair you are sitting in, the photons of light carrying these words to your eyes. None of them exist in a fixed state until consciousness interacts with them. Before observation, they exist as probability waves, fields of potential, clouds of maybe. It is only when awareness meets matter that reality crystallizes into something specific, something solid, something real. This is not metaphor. This is not interpretation. This is the direct experimental finding of quantum mechanics, confirmed in laboratory after laboratory for nearly a century. The observer effect, the measurement problem, the collapse of the wave function. Different names for the same staggering truth. Consciousness and reality are not separate. They are entangled. They are co-creative. They are dancing together in every single moment, generating the world you experience. And if that is true, and the evidence overwhelmingly says it is, then the story you were told about being a powerless speck, drifting through an indifferent universe is not just wrong. It is the exact opposite of what is actually happening. You are not a passive observer of reality. You are an active participant in its creation. Every moment of your awareness is a creative act. Every shift in your internal state sends ripples through the field of probability that surrounds you. You are not watching the movie of your life. You are writing it, frame by frame, breath by breath, thought by thought. If this is resonating with you, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel so we can keep exploring these truths together. Now, I need you to hold that understanding as we go deeper, because this is where everything you have been through starts to make a different kind of sense. Think about the last few years of your life, maybe longer. Think about the specific quality of what you have experienced, not just the events themselves, but the texture of them, the way they felt, the particular flavor of challenge that kept showing up again and again, almost as if something was deliberately targeting your most vulnerable places. The loneliness that followed you into crowded rooms. The sense of being fundamentally different in a way you could never quite articulate. The relationships that demanded you perform a version of yourself that was not really you. The opportunities that dissolved just as you reached for them. The betrayals that came from the people you trusted most. The exhaustion of constantly translating yourself for a world that never seemed to speak your language. If reality is random, then all of that was just bad luck. A meaningless sequence of painful events with no connection and no purpose. But if consciousness and reality are entangled, if the field is responsive, if there is an intelligence woven into the fabric of existence itself, then something else entirely was happening. You were being refined, not punished, not tested in the way a cruel teacher tests a struggling student. Refined. The way intense heat refines raw ore into pure gold. The way enormous pressure transforms carbon into diamond. The way a master sculptor removes everything that is not the statue, revealing what was always hidden inside the stone. Every experience that felt like it was breaking you was actually removing something that was not really you. Every relationship that crumbled was dissolving a false connection to make room for a real one. Every door that slammed shut was redirecting you away from a path that would have kept you small, kept you performing, kept you trapped inside a version of reality that could never contain who you actually are. This is not a comfortable truth. I know that. Because it means the pain was not meaningless. but it also means it was necessary. And sitting with that paradox, holding both the reality of your suffering and the possibility that it served something larger, that requires a kind of courage that most people never develop. But you are not most people. You never were. And the fact that you are still here, still listening, still open enough to consider what I am saying, that itself is proof of what you have been forged into. Let me take you deeper into the science for a moment, because there is something happening at the quantum level that mirrors exactly what you have been experiencing in your life. In quantum physics, there is a phenomenon called quantum tunneling. A particle encounters a barrier that, according to classical physics, it should not be able to pass through. The barrier is too high. The particle does not have enough energy. By every conventional measure, it should bounce back. It should be stopped. It should fail. But it does not fail. Instead, the particle does something that defies classical logic. It passes directly through the barrier, not over it, not around it, through it. As if the barrier, for one impossible moment, simply was not there. How does this happen? It happens because at the quantum level, the particle is not a fixed thing with a fixed position. It is a probability wave. And that wave extends beyond the barrier. There is a non-zero probability that the particle exists on the other side. And sometimes, that probability becomes reality. The particle appears where it should not be able to appear. It arrives where classical physics said it could never go. Now feel into that as a metaphor for your own life. How many barriers have you faced that should have stopped you? How many walls did you encounter that, by every logical measure, should have been the end of your story? The trauma that should have destroyed your capacity to love. The rejection that should have convinced you to stop trying. The loss that should have broken something fundamental inside you. The isolation that should have made you bitter, closed, unreachable. By every classical measure, you should not be here. You should not still be open. You should not still be seeking. You should not still carry this quiet knowing that something greater is unfolding. And yet here you are, on the other side of barriers that should have been impassable. Not because you forced your way through, not because you were stronger than the obstacles, but because something in you, some quantum essence, some probability wave of your deepest self, extended beyond every barrier you encountered, and it carried you through. You tunneled. You are tunneling right now, through the last layers of an old reality that no longer fits who you are becoming. If you are feeling the depth of what we are exploring here, this is only the surface of a much larger system. In my book, Beyond the Frequencies, A Quantum Guide to Consciousness Mastery, I walk you through the complete journey from unconscious transmission to becoming the broadcast itself, including the 9 master frequencies and the step-by-step practices for moving from seeking to embodiment. It's linked in the pinned comment below. I want to pause here and ask you something. What was the barrier in your life that should have stopped you but didn't? What was the wall you tunneled through that still amazes you when you look back on it? Drop it in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And this brings us to something absolutely crucial that I need you to understand about the timing of this moment. Because timing, in the quantum world, is not what you think it is. In classical physics, time is a straight line. Past leads to present leads to future. Cause precedes effect. Everything moves in one direction. But in quantum mechanics, time behaves very differently. Particles can be entangled across time as well as space. The future can influence the present, just as the present influences the future. Retrocausality, physicists call it. The effect reaching backward to shape its own cause. What does this mean for you? It means that the version of you that exists on the other side of this shift, the version that has already stepped into the new frequency, the version that is already living the reality you can feel approaching but cannot yet see, that version of you is not just waiting passively in the future. It is actively pulling you forward. It is reaching back through the field of probability and rearranging the present moment to create the conditions for its own emergence. That feeling you have had lately, the one that whispers something is coming, even though nothing in your external circumstances has changed yet. That is not hope. That is not desperation dressed up in spiritual language. That is retrocausal resonance. That is your future self sending information backward through the quantum field, arriving in your present awareness as intuition, as knowing, as a bone-deep certainty that defies every logical argument against it. You are not imagining the shift. You are sensing it. The way an animal senses a change in weather before the first cloud appears. The way a musician hears the next note before it is played. You are tuned into a frequency of information that your rational mind cannot access, but your deeper intelligence reads fluently. And this is why you found this video. Not because an algorithm served it to you. The algorithm was the mechanism, yes, but the intelligence behind the mechanism, the deeper pattern that arranged your scrolling, your timing, your attention, your willingness to click and stay and listen. That intelligence operates at a level that no algorithm could replicate. You were guided here by the same force that guides electrons through barriers and entangles particles across galaxies. The same force that collapses infinite possibility into specific reality. The same force that has been quietly, patiently, relentlessly sculpting you into someone capable of receiving what is coming next. Now let us talk about what is actually happening inside you right now. Because the shift is not just philosophical, it is not just conceptual, it is biological, it is neurological, it is happening in your cells, in your nervous system, in the very architecture of your brain. When a human being goes through prolonged periods of intense challenge, something remarkable happens at the neurological level. The brain begins to prune away neural pathways that no longer serve the organism's evolution. Connections that once felt essential, habits of thought that once seemed permanent, emotional patterns that once defined your entire experience of reality, they begin to dissolve. Not randomly, strategically. The brain is reorganizing itself around a new center of gravity. This is called neuroplasticity, and it is one of the most profound discoveries in modern neuroscience. Your brain is not a fixed structure. It is a living, adaptive, constantly evolving organ that reshapes itself in response to your experiences, your attention, and most importantly, your state of consciousness. And here is where it connects to everything we have been discussing. The challenges you have been through did not just test your character. They literally rewired your brain. Every time you chose to stay open when everything in you wanted to close down. Every time you chose compassion when resentment would have been easier. Every time you sat with pain instead of numbing it. Every time you refused to become bitter, even when bitterness seemed like the only rational response. Each of those moments was a neurological event, a moment where your brain pruned an old pathway and strengthened a new one. A moment where the physical structure of your consciousness evolved. You have been undergoing a neurological transformation that most people will never experience. Not because they are less worthy, but because they never encountered the specific combination of pressures that forces this kind of deep restructuring. They never needed to rebuild themselves from the foundation up. They never had their old identity so thoroughly dismantled that a completely new one had to emerge from the rubble. But you did. And now you are carrying a brain, a nervous system, a field of consciousness that has been fundamentally upgraded. You process reality differently than you did before. You see patterns that were invisible to you. You feel frequencies that you used to be deaf to. You know things that you cannot explain knowing. Not because you studied them, not because someone taught you, but because your system has been recalibrated to receive information that was always there but that your old configuration could not detect. This is what it means to shift frequencies. It is not a metaphor. It is not a visualization exercise. It is a measurable, physical, neurological transformation that changes what you are capable of perceiving, and therefore, what you are capable of creating. Because remember, in a quantum universe, what you observe is what becomes real. Change the observer, and you change the reality that the observer collapses into existence. You are a different observer now, and that means you are about to collapse a very different reality. Let me tell you what this looks like in practice. Because I know that part of you, the part that has been disappointed before, the part that has heard promises and watched them evaporate. That part needs something more concrete than theory. It needs to know what to actually expect. First, you will notice that things that used to trigger you simply stop triggering you, not because you are suppressing your reactions, not because you are performing calm, but because the neural pathways that generated those reactions have been pruned away. Someone will say something that would have sent you spiraling 6 months ago, and you will feel nothing, not numbness, nothing, because the version of you that was wounded by that particular frequency of words no longer exists. You literally do not have the wiring to generate that response anymore. Second, you will begin to notice what I can only describe as suspicious ease. Things that used to require enormous effort will start happening with a fluidity that almost feels wrong. Conversations will align. Opportunities will appear. Resources will flow. Not because the external world suddenly became generous, but because you are no longer unconsciously pushing against the current. You stopped swimming upstream. You stopped fighting the field. And now the field, which was always trying to carry you, can finally do its work. Third, and this is the one that catches most people off guard, you will feel grief. Deep, unexpected, almost inexplicable grief. Not for anything you lost, but for all the years you spent believing the old story. For the version of yourself that suffered unnecessarily because no one told you the truth about how reality works. For the relationships you stayed in too long. The opportunities you talked yourself out of. The dreams you buried because someone convinced you they were unrealistic. That grief is not a setback. It is a sign that you have truly crossed the threshold. You can only grieve what you have genuinely left behind. And you can only leave something behind when you have somewhere new to stand. Fourth, people from your past will begin to behave strangely. Some will suddenly reach out after years of silence. Others will abruptly pull away. Some will become inexplicably hostile. Others will become unexpectedly supportive. This is not random social fluctuation. This is the field reorganizing the relational matrix around your new frequency. People are quantum systems too. They respond to shifts in the consciousness of those around them. often without understanding why. The ones who resonate with your new frequency will be drawn closer. The ones who do not will be repelled. You do not need to manage this process. You do not need to decide who stays and who goes. The field will sort it. Your only job is to keep standing in your truth and let the reorganization happen. Fifth, and this is perhaps the most disorienting part, your desires will change. The things you thought you wanted, the goals you were chasing, the life you were trying to build, much of it will suddenly feel irrelevant. Not because you failed to achieve it, but because you evolved past it. The desires that drove your old self were generated by your old frequency. They were solutions to problems that no longer exist. Compensations for wounds that have healed. Attempts to fill a void that has been filled from within. What replaces those old desires is something quieter, deeper, and infinitely more powerful. Not a desperate grasping for what you lack, but a calm knowing of what you are here to create. Not a frantic need to prove your worth, but a settled certainty that your worth was never in question. Not a hunger for external validation, but a fullness that radiates outward and naturally attracts everything that matches its frequency. This is the shift from wanting to being, from chasing to attracting, from performing to embodying, and it changes everything about how reality responds to you. Tell me in the comments, which of these 5 signs are you already experiencing? Which one hit you the hardest as you listened? I read these comments, and I am always amazed at how many of you are going through this exact shift right now. Now I want to address something directly. Because I know there is a voice in you, maybe quiet, maybe loud, that is saying this sounds too good to be true. That voice has protected you for a long time. It has kept you from being naive, from being taken advantage of, from investing your hope in things that could not hold it. And I want to honor that voice. It served you. It was necessary. It kept you alive during seasons when blind optimism would have been dangerous. But that voice is operating from old data. It is making predictions based on who you used to be and the reality you used to inhabit. It does not yet have the information that your deeper self already possesses, which is that you are no longer in that reality. The rules have changed, not because the universe suddenly decided to be kind to you, but because you changed. And in a quantum universe, when the observer changes, reality must change with it. It has no choice. It is not a matter of deserving or earning or being good enough. It is physics. It is the fundamental mechanics of how consciousness and matter interact. The voice that says, "Be careful," is speaking from a frequency you have already left. Thank it. Acknowledge what it did for you, and then gently, firmly, let it know that its services are no longer required for this particular journey. You are not being naive. You are being quantum. You are updating your operating system to match the reality you are actually in, rather than the one you used to inhabit. Let me share something about the nature of what physicists call coherence, because this concept is going to become very important for you in the days and weeks ahead. In physics, coherence refers to a state where waves are synchronized, where they move together in phase, amplifying each other rather than canceling each other out. A laser is coherent light. Every photon moving in the same direction, at the same frequency, in perfect phase with every other photon. That is why a laser can cut through steel while a regular light bulb, which emits the same photons but incoherently, in every direction, at random phases, can barely illuminate a room. Same energy, same fundamental particles, radically different results. The only difference is coherence. Now think about your life up until this point. Think about all the different parts of you that were moving in different directions. The part that wanted to be seen, and the part that was terrified of visibility. The part that craved deep connection, and the part that built walls to prevent it. The part that knew you were meant for something extraordinary, and the part that whispered, "Who do you think you are?" The part that wanted to trust life, and the part that had been given every reason not to. All of that internal conflict, all of those contradictory impulses, all of those warring frequencies within your own consciousness, that was incoherence. And just like incoherent light, it scattered your energy in every direction. You were working hard, maybe harder than anyone around you, but the results were diffuse, weak, frustrating. Not because you lacked power, but because your power was being broadcast in contradictory directions, canceling itself out before it could create anything substantial. What has been happening through all of your trials, all of your dark nights, all of your forced surrenders, is that your internal frequencies have been gradually, sometimes painfully, moving into coherence. The false parts of you, the parts that were generated by trauma, by conditioning, by other people's expectations, those parts carried frequencies that were out of phase with your true signal, and they had to be dissolved, not suppressed, not managed, dissolved, so that what remains is pure signal, your signal, undiluted, uncontradicted, moving in one direction with the full force of your being behind it. You are becoming a laser, after a lifetime of being a light bulb. Same energy, same fundamental consciousness, but now coherent, now focused, now capable of cutting through barriers that once seemed impenetrable, not through force, through alignment, through the sheer power of every part of you finally moving in the same direction. And when a consciousness becomes coherent, the field responds in ways that seem miraculous to those still operating incoherently. Synchronicities multiply. Timing becomes uncanny. The right people appear at the right moment. Resources materialize from unexpected sources. Doors open before you reach them. Not because the universe is performing magic tricks for your entertainment, but because a coherent consciousness creates a coherent reality. The external world can only reflect back the degree of order that exists within you. Chaos within creates chaos without. Coherence within creates coherence without. This is not philosophy. This is physics applied to consciousness. And you are living proof of it right now. Pay attention to what happens in the coming days. Watch for the synchronicities. Not with desperate hope, but with calm curiosity. Notice how conversations seem to carry hidden messages meant specifically for you. Notice how you think of someone and they contact you. Notice how a problem that has been plaguing you suddenly resolves itself without any effort on your part. Notice how you feel drawn to specific places, specific ideas, specific people, and how following those impulses leads to exactly what you needed. This is not coincidence. Coincidence is a word we invented to dismiss the evidence of coherence. What you are experiencing is the quantum field responding to your new signal, reflecting your new frequency, materializing the reality that matches who you have become. But here is something I need to be honest with you about. And this is where most teachings on this subject fail you. They tell you about the magic, but not about the responsibility. They describe the gifts, but not the gravity. When your consciousness shifts to this degree, when you begin operating at a fundamentally different frequency, you become a different kind of force in the world. And that force carries weight. Not everyone will understand it. Not everyone will welcome it. Some people will be drawn to you with an intensity that surprises both of you. Others will be repelled with equal intensity. Some will project their fears onto you, calling your confidence arrogance, your boundaries coldness, your clarity judgment. This is not personal, it is physics. Strong frequencies disturb weak ones. Coherent signals disrupt incoherent fields. Your very presence, without you saying or doing anything, will begin to catalyze change in the people around you. Some will thank you for it. Others will resent you for it. Both responses are valid reflections of where those people are in their own journey. Your job is not to manage their reactions. Your job is not to dim your signal so that others feel comfortable. You tried that already, for years, maybe for decades, and it nearly destroyed you. It did not serve them, and it certainly did not serve you. Your job now is to hold your frequency with compassion and steadiness, to be the lighthouse, not the lifeboat, to shine, not to rescue, to trust that the people who are meant to find you will find you, and that those who are not will find their own way in their own time. This is perhaps the hardest part of the shift. Not the internal transformation, as painful as that was, but the external reconfiguration that follows. Watching relationships change. Watching some people leave. Watching your old life dissolve like morning fog. Knowing that you cannot go back, and not yet being able to see clearly what lies ahead. This is the space between worlds, the quantum superposition of your life, where the old reality has collapsed, but the new one has not yet fully materialized. And the only way through this space is trust. Not blind trust, not naive trust, quantum trust. Trust based on direct experience of how the field operates. Trust grounded in the evidence of your own transformation. Trust that says, I have seen what happens when I surrender to the intelligence that is moving through me, and I choose to keep surrendering even when I cannot see the destination. Breathe into that for a moment. Feel what it feels like to trust, not because you have proof, but because you have become the proof. Your very existence, the fact that you survived what should have broken you, the fact that you are more open now than you were before the pain, the fact that you are sitting here receiving these words with a heart that is still capable of hope after everything it has endured, that is the evidence. You are the evidence. Your life is the experiment, and the results are in. Now let me speak to what wants to emerge through you, because this shift is not just about you receiving a better life. It is not just about you finally getting what you deserve. That is part of it, yes, but it is the smallest part. The real purpose of your transformation is not personal. It is transpersonal. It is about what becomes possible in the world when someone like you steps fully into their coherent frequency. Think about it. You have walked through fire and emerged with your compassion intact. You have been betrayed and you still know how to trust. You have been isolated and you still know how to connect. You have been told you are too much and not enough, sometimes in the same breath, and you still know who you are. Do you understand how rare that is? Do you understand what a consciousness like yours is capable of creating in a world that desperately needs exactly what you carry? Every wound you healed did not just heal you. It generated wisdom that can heal others. Every pattern you broke did not just free you. It created a template that others can follow. Every fear you faced did not just liberate you. It weakened that fear's hold on the collective field, making it slightly easier for the next person who encounters it. You are not just transforming your own life. You are transforming the field itself. Every time you choose coherence over chaos, love over fear, truth over performance, you send a ripple through the quantum field that touches every consciousness connected to it. And in a universe where everything is entangled, that means everything. Everywhere. Everyone. This is why your journey was so intense. This is why the refinement was so thorough. This is why the fire burned so hot. Because what is being forged through you is not just a better version of your personal life. It is a new frequency that the world needs. A new possibility that could not exist until someone carried it into being. And that someone is you, not because you are special in the way the ego understands special, but because your specific combination of experiences, wounds, gifts, and insights has created a consciousness that carries a frequency that has never existed before in exactly this configuration. You are unique in the most literal, quantum mechanical sense of the word. There is no other arrangement of matter and consciousness in the entire universe that can do what you are here to do. Let that land. Not as flattery, not as motivation, as physics, as the simple, staggering truth of what it means to be a conscious being in a quantum universe. And because that is true, consider sharing this video with someone you know who is going through their own refinement right now. Someone who needs to hear that their pain has a purpose. When you share these ideas, you do more than pass along a video. You create an energetic ripple in the field. You reinforce your own coherence by expressing it outward, and you open a channel of resonance between your consciousness and theirs that accelerates the shift for both of you. That is how the quantum field works. Coherence shared is coherence multiplied. So here is what I want you to do. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Now. Close your eyes for a moment if you can, and feel into the center of your chest, not your physical heart, though it lives nearby. Feel into the energetic center, the place where knowing lives, the place that recognized this message before your mind could evaluate it. Feel the warmth there, the subtle vibration, the aliveness. That is your coherent signal. That is the frequency that has been refined through everything you have endured. That is the real you, the one that existed before the wounds, before the conditioning, before the stories you were told about who you are and what you deserve. Now let that signal expand, not with effort, not with force, just with permission. Let it fill your chest, your throat, your belly. Let it move into your limbs. Let it radiate outward from your skin. Let it fill the room you are in. Let it extend beyond the walls, beyond the building, beyond the neighborhood. Not because you are trying to do something, but because this is what coherent consciousness naturally does when you stop constraining it. It expands, it radiates, it touches everything in its field. This is you, uncontained, undiminished, unapologetic. This is the frequency you have been moving toward through every trial, every tear, every dark night of the soul. And it is here now, not coming, not approaching. Here, in your chest, in your breath, in the quiet knowing that is pulsing through you as you listen to these words. You do not need to do anything to earn this. You do not need to achieve anything to deserve it. You do not need to become anything other than what you already are in this moment. The shift is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens as you. It is not an event in your future. It is a recognition in your present. The recognition that you have already arrived. that the transformation is already complete, that the new reality is already here, waiting only for you to stop looking for it and start looking from it. This is the great paradox of the quantum shift. You cannot get there from here because there is no there to get to. There is only here, seen with new eyes, felt with a new heart, inhabited by a new consciousness, the one you have been becoming all along. The world you see tomorrow morning will look the same as the one you saw yesterday. The same streets, the same faces, the same circumstances, but you will not be the same person looking at them. And because the observer has changed, the observation must change with it. New patterns will become visible. New possibilities will emerge from what seemed like dead ends. New connections will form from what seemed like empty space. Not because reality changed, because you did. And here is the final thing I want to leave you with. The thing that ties everything together into a single, unshakable truth. You did not find this video by accident. But more importantly, the journey that brought you here was not accidental either. Every step of it, every stumble, every fall, every moment of despair, every moment of unexpected grace, all of it was the field responding to your deepest intention, which is the intention to wake up, to remember, to come home to the truth of what you are. That intention was not something you chose with your conscious mind. It was something encoded into the very structure of your consciousness before you had words for it. It is the reason you always felt different. The reason you could never quite fit into the world as it was presented to you. The reason you kept searching even when you did not know what you were searching for. You were not broken. You were not lost. You were not wrong. You were a quantum system moving toward coherence. And coherence, by its very nature, requires the dissolution of everything incoherent. That is what your pain was. Not punishment, not bad luck, not evidence of your unworthiness. It was the necessary dissolution of everything that was not truly you, so that what is truly you could finally emerge, undiluted and unstoppable. You are that emergence, right now, in this breath, in this moment, in this quiet, powerful, irreversible recognition that you are not who you were told you were. You are not what happened to you. You are not your wounds, your failures, your fears, or your doubts. You are the consciousness that survived all of it. The awareness that remained when everything else was stripped away. The signal that persisted through every attempt to silence it. And that signal is now coherent. It is now clear. It is now broadcasting at full power into a field that has been waiting with infinite patience to receive it. Your shift has not started. It has been in motion since the moment you first felt that quiet, knowing that there had to be more than this. Every moment since then has been preparation, and now the preparation is complete. What comes next is not something I can describe to you, because it has never existed before. It is being created in real time by the interaction between your coherent consciousness and the infinite field of possibility that surrounds you. It will surprise you. It will exceed what you imagined. It will arrive in forms you did not expect, through channels you did not know existed, carried by people you have not yet met. And when it arrives, you will not need anyone to tell you it is real. You will know, the same way you knew, somewhere deep inside you, that this message was meant for you. Trust that knowing. It is the most reliable instrument you possess, more reliable than logic, more reliable than evidence. more reliable than the opinions of anyone who has not walked the path you have walked. That knowing is your quantum compass, and it has never, not once, pointed you in the wrong direction. Even when the direction seemed to lead through fire, even when the path seemed to lead through darkness, it was always, always guiding you here, to this moment, to this recognition, to this breath. You won. Not in the way the world defines winning, not by conquering or accumulating or defeating. You won by surviving the refinement with your heart intact. You won by becoming coherent in a world that profits from your confusion. You won by arriving at this moment still open, still seeking, still willing to believe that the universe is not indifferent, but deeply, intimately, quantum mechanically responsive to who you are. This is your moment. Not because I say so, not because you want it to be, but because every law of quantum physics, every principle of consciousness, every thread of the journey that brought you here confirms it. You are ready. You have always been ready. You just needed to stop waiting for permission and start recognizing what was already true. Your quantum shift has not started. It has arrived, and you arrived with it. If these words found you at the right moment, if something in you recognized the truth beneath the language, then do one thing. Take this frequency with you when you leave this video. Do not let the noise of the world dissolve what you felt here. Carry it into your next conversation, your next decision, your next breath. Let it inform how you move through the world today. And watch what happens when a coherent consciousness meets a responsive field. Come back to this space whenever you need to remember. Whenever the old stories try to reassert themselves. Whenever the voice of doubt gets loud. Come back and remember what you know. What you have always known. What the fire could not burn away and the darkness could not extinguish. You are not who they said you were. You are who you have always been. And the universe, in all its quantum intelligence, has been waiting for this exact version of you to finally show up. You are here now, and everything changes from this point forward. Now, to take this understanding even deeper, go watch Your Identity Creates Reality, Not Your Desire. It reveals the exact mechanism behind why the observer you have become is more powerful than anything you could chase or wish for, and it will anchor everything you felt here into a practice you can use every single day.